Hold on, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Some type of sound or something was playing. Let me disconnect this. All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm coming on earlier than I planned. Gotta say, you know what? While I'm waiting on my daughter, I'll just go ahead and do the live. How about that? Okay. How was your day today? Everybody had a good day? All right. I had a pretty good day as well. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about some things that are happening concerning our country. And one of the questions that a lot of people are asking right now, y'all, will the government shut down? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. There are a couple of other stories that I want to talk about as well. Let me make sure that okay, I did share this in our community tab, so hopefully people will see this and join. If you're not watching it live, then you'll catch the replay. Okay, thank you all so much for your continued support. Let me just make sure that I can connect to the internet, y'all. Hold on just a minute. Let me give me just a minute, y'all. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm trying to connect to the internet. All right, it's coming up. All right, y'all. So I have about maybe a little less than an hour, maybe about 45 minutes or so. The government shutdown. That's what we're going to talk about as a topic in this video. Happy, what's today, y'all? Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. Let's see here. Hold on, y'all. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. The weather is changing, y'all. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. It's a lot cooler in the mornings, sometime in the evenings. So please make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Okay. Hey to everyone tuning in. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to just make sure before I get going that you all can see me and hear me clearly. Okay, so please make sure that you can please make sure you like this video, share this video. I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and I would also like to invite you to join our community. Okay, all right, can you all hear me and see me clearly? Please let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. Okay. All right, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy, I'm sure you're busy Thursday to tune in. All right, please let me know. For some reason, I can't log in on my other device. Please let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. Okay, for those of you all who are watching, please let me know. Please comment. Okay, let me know in the chat that you can hear me and see me. That will help me out greatly. Okay. Let me see, I'm using a different device, and for some reason it's asking me to verify something when I try to log in and check. Okay, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Listen, this is a growing topic. Okay, we're on talking about the government shutdown. Okay, please let me know in the chat, are you aware of the stories that are saying that it's possible that our government may shut down? Okay, because they may not be in agreement with the government spending bill. And so I want to talk about that. Are you all familiar and aware with what's currently happening in our country? It's a lot that I want to talk about, y'all. It's so much going on, so much that I want to address. I may have to do this video in several parts, okay? But I do want to come on and talk about the government shutdown. Okay, tomorrow, today is Thursday, September 29th, and tomorrow, I'm sorry, wait a minute, I got my days mixed up, y'all. Today is Thursday, September 28th, okay, and the deadline is approaching for, hey to everyone who's joining in. Thank you all so much for being here. Please like this video. That gives me feedback. It also lets me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. And so I really appreciate your support, okay? Let's talk about it, y'all, okay? Is a government shutdown going to happen? Okay, that is a question that many people, maybe even you, may be wondering about. I'm going to come on and talk about what's going on and what's being reported, okay? Now, as of the time of this video, right? As of the time of this video, my sources are telling me, my sources are saying that the United States, okay, is 2 days away from a shutdown, a situation moving from possible to likely, okay, as Congress has failed to cut through gridlock and reach a deal to fund the federal government. Okay, I want to give you some more information about this, so please stick around to the conclusion of the video, y'all. Listen, they're saying that millions of Americans will be impacted. Okay, are you one of the Americans that are likely to be impacted? Okay, right, we're going to talk about that as well, Jessica. I have been saying for the longest now, it seems like millions, if not billions of dollars are constantly going out of the door. What do you mean by going out of the door? Going out of our country, meaning that we're funding alleged wars and who knows what else, right? Exactly. You know, there have been reports that some postal workers, okay, they may not get paid, okay? Some may have not gotten paid for whatever reason recently. And so it's all kind of concerns. Many people, you know, have a right to be concerned, especially those who are federal workers, right? Listen to this, y'all. Millions of Americans will be impacted, okay, according to my sources, if lawmakers can't reach a deal before 12:01 a.m. October 1st. Okay, did you all hear the deadline? The deadline for lawmakers to reach a deal is 12:01 a.m. October 1st. Okay, now what would cause us, or what kind of impacts would they be due to a shutdown? A shutdown, my sources say, would impact the country's largest food assistance programs. Okay, federally funded preschool, federal college grants and loans, food safety inspections, the article says, national parks, and more. Okay, now let me give you some latest news on what some are describing as the looming government shutdown, and we'll talk about why it matters and how it could potentially impact you and your family. Okay, now some people may have been hearing about this for the first time. I know last year or maybe even before that, I reported on, I did a video about whether or not would the government shut down. But listen, y'all, what is a government shutdown? Why does a government shutdown happen? Okay, according to my sources, a government shutdown takes place when Congress is unable to pass a dozen annual spending bills that funnel money to government programs and agencies. Okay, a shutdown is likely when both chambers in Congress, okay, we're talking about the House as well as the Senate, can't come to an agreement on how much money to allocate to certain agencies or agree on certain spending provisions, putting federal agencies at risk. Okay, now, y'all, you know, there has been, I reported maybe a few months back, right, and I was telling you all how basically Congress had issued just a blank check to what appeared to be unlimited spending. And, you know, we only should not be concerned about the spending that we're doing currently in the future, right? We should also be concerned about, okay, if the United States is doing all of this spending now, how is that money going to be paid back? Okay, are our children and children's children going to be paying that money back? How is, you know, how is it going to be repaid? Okay, you all please share your thoughts, and I appreciate your support. Okay, you all know this is an interactive channel, and so I like to share news and information, and I also like to get your insight as well. Okay, thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I truly appreciate you all. Listen to this now. Okay, a partial government shutdown can occur if Congress is able to pass any of the 12 individual spending bills, okay? Now, when both chambers can't reach a compromise, funding levels expire and federal agencies must cease all non-essential function, okay? Now, you may ask, okay, what are the 12 appropriation bills? Okay, let's talk about what they're actually voting on. In order to fund the government, okay, my sources say, lawmakers must pass 12 appropriations bills, each tailored to a specific government function. Let's talk about what those bills are, okay? The appropriation bills are handled by their respective subcommittees in both the House and Senate Appropriations Committees. For example, the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Defense steers the defense spending bill, which provides funding for the Department of Defense and other related activities. Now, I've said this before, y'all. At a time where it seems like a lot of countries are not happy with the United States for whatever reason, whether it's foreign policy, whether it is a battle over resources, or whether it is concerns over some type of disaster that happened. Now, in my opinion, now does not seem like the time to be cutting back on the defense spending. Okay, you can share your thoughts about that, but at a time where it seems like, you know, there's so much going on, where our defense, our borders are wide open. Hello. There may be other countries that, like I said, who are not happy with the United States. Why would we cut back on any type of defense spending? Okay, let me continue reading, y'all. Please let me know your thoughts on this. Okay, now, in previous years, okay, the Congress passed an omnibus package, okay, meaning a massive bill combining all 12 appropriations bills into one piece of legislation. The change this year is among the concessions House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, you all have heard me mention him before, made to hardline conservatives in his bid for the job in January, when he promised to pass all 12 bills separately, okay? Now, there are some lawmakers who have argued a vote on each bill would allow for more transparency in the spending process. But with 3 days left, okay, with 3 days left before a government shutdown, it is virtually impossible for Congress to pass all 12 bills in time, considering the House has only passed one of the 12, and the Senate, the article says, hasn't passed any. Think about that, y'all. Why is this the case? Okay, why? And I'm not here advocating one party over the other, right? I'm simply talking about the House of Representatives and the Senate, okay? How is it that, you know, parties from both sides, from all sides, right? I'm saying both sides because who are the majority? Okay, we could say, you know, Democrats and Republicans are the majority political party, right? How is it that both sides have not been able to work together, okay, to come up with a solutions rather, in favor of the American people? What's really going on? Is it that there's so much focus on a certain type of agenda, and we've talked about many of them here on the channel? You know, there's a big push right now concerning the weather and the effects that the weather and extreme weather and unusual weather patterns have on our world. Okay, there's a certain word, y'all know what I'm talking about, the sea change, right? For some reason, this platform, they'll flag your video when you say that particular word. I don't know what that is about, but y'all don't know what I'm talking about, right? The change dealing with the weather starts with the sea change. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Is it so much so that they're focused on that and sending money to other countries? Not to say, I'm not here to say that I don't believe that other people should receive help, other countries. You know, quite surely there's a humanitarian thing to do concerning that. But as I have said, the same time you're helping other countries, don't forget to help the American people. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Now, the only likely, according to my sources, the only likely resolution to avert a shutdown is a short-term stopgap measure to keep the government open and buy lawmakers more time to move through the appropriations process. Okay, all right, you all, please let me know if you have any questions. I want to say thank you all so much for the thumbs up. You're letting me know that you value the information that I'm sharing on the channel. And you also let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. Let me just wipe off my screen, y'all. Okay, I didn't know. It may just be, I don't know if it's the lighting or what. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for supporting me here on Andrea Speaks TV. Now listen to this, y'all. National parks. Okay, let's talk about national parks, right? The question was asked, do national parks close during a government shutdown? The answer, it depends on the park. During previous shutdowns, some national parks actually closed. Think about that, y'all. They closed entirely, while others remain technically open, the article says, but without staff to maintain them. Okay, quite naturally, if the people aren't getting paid, you know, they may or may not show up. They may or may not be required to show up. This is a real situation, y'all. Okay, people's lives can be impacted by this. Keep listening, y'all. Okay, some fell into disarray, the article says, while with trash piling up and toilets overflowing. Okay, but some park service employees, such as emergency medical personnel, would still be on the job during a government shutdown. However, services could be disrupted. Okay, now the House Democratic leader said the House GOP would, and I quote, own this government shutdown. Now, once seemed like the sides are starting to blame each other, y'all. Let's talk about this. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat out of New York, warned House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Republican out of California, that House Democrats would not support a Republican-crafted stopgap measure if it was put on the floor, instead urging him to hold a vote on the Senate's bipartisan version of a continuing resolution to keep the government open. You all let me know, what are your thoughts on what I'm saying? Okay, House Minority Leader Jeffries had this to say, and I quote, there is a bipartisan agreement that meets the needs of the American people that would keep the government open that is working its way through the Senate. Okay, that's what he said at a weekly press conference today, okay, which is Thursday. Jeffries also praised the Senate version of the bill, which is, and I quote, free from any extreme policy partisan poison pill. That's what he called it, y'all. Those are his words, not mine. Provisions, and includes President Joe Biden's request for additional U.S. aid to Ukraine and disaster relief funding. Okay. Now, if Congress cannot pass a funding deal by the September 30th deadline, Jeffries said that House Republicans would, and I quote, own this government shutdown. Okay. Again, we talked about what is the deadline for the government shutdown. The U.S. government was shut down at 12:01 a.m. Sunday, October 1st, if lawmakers don't pass a continuing resolution or a federal budget by September 30th. Okay, the continuing resolution article says a stopgap measure that would temporarily fund the government while lawmakers work to pass a comprehensive budget would prevent a shutdown from occurring on October the 1st. Okay, Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the House will vote Friday, which is tomorrow, on a continuing resolution, but it is unclear if it has enough votes to pass. Okay, please let me know your thoughts on the information that I'm reporting. Okay, now Senator Ben Cardin, Democrat out of Maryland, had this to say. Senator Cardin also, the article says, who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee after twice indicted Senator Bob Menendez, Democrat out of New Jersey, stepped down, said on Thursday morning that there are thousands of examples of how a government shutdown affects the readiness of the country. Okay, he had this to say, and I quote, this is absolutely dangerous, reckless, and ridiculous that we can't keep the government open. Okay, Cardin called on House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to garner bipartisan support in the House and live up to the commitment the House Speaker made with President Joe Biden during debt ceiling negotiations. Okay, he was quoted as also saying, and I quote, you can't let the extremes control the operations in the House, he said. Our national security depends upon it, as well as the inconvenience of costing the American taxpayer. Not taxpayer. Let me say that quote again, okay? And I quote, this is by Representative Cardin, okay? And I quote, you can't let the extremes control the operations in the House, okay? What does he mean by the extremes? He continued by saying, and I quote, our national security depends upon it, as well as the inconvenience of costing the American taxpayer. Now, I find it very ironic that he mentions national security. Okay, what about our borders being wide open? Do you know there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of people crossing over into our borders, um, and some even arriving by plane? Okay, coming into our borders, and not only that, but you know crossing into our borders, right? Not saying that everyone is coming to do harm, but when it comes to this, they can mention national security, but is it such a priority, or a need to act quickly to resolve the border crisis issue? Okay, I'm not really sure why they would mention that, or why he would mention that, or say that our national security depends upon it. I don't know if he said that because the Department of Defense could be affected. But again, I want to draw attention to the fact that our borders are wide open. There have been concerns, different states have tried to do different things to kind of curb that. But once again, no real solution is being implemented. Okay, that's what I want to say about that. In one example, Carter said a shutdown would affect the civilian faculty at the U.S. Naval Academy located in Maryland. If a shutdown, the article says, goes on for any length of time, Carter said the midshipmen will not be able to complete the accredited number of courses they need in time. Okay, he's saying, and I quote, "This is just one example affecting the readiness of our nation." Okay, maybe that's what he was saying. Some of the midshipmen. I don't know exactly that person's role or what their role entails, but they were saying they would not be able to complete the accredited number of courses that they need. Okay, let's talk about Social Security. Okay, Social Security, will it be paid if there's a government shutdown? Now, according to my sources, listen very carefully, because many people, including myself, you may know someone who receives Social Security. Okay, I feel like I got to sneeze again, y'all, so hold on. End up being a cough. Okay, listen, Social Security recipients will continue to receive checks. Okay, according to my sources, Social Security recipients will continue to receive checks in the event of a government shutdown, and Medicare benefits will not be interrupted. That's what they're saying. Let me repeat again, y'all. The question is, will Social Security be paid if there is a government shutdown? Social Security recipients will continue to receive checks in the event of a government shutdown, and Medicare benefits will not be interrupted. Okay. However, my sources say employees in the Social Security Administration are likely to be furloughed, and government food assistance benefits could soon, or I'm sorry, wait a minute, y'all. Let me read that again. Okay. However, so the question that is being asked is, will Social Security be paid if there's a government shutdown? The answer, Social Security recipients, okay, those who receive the SSI check, Social Security income check, will continue to receive checks in the event of a government shutdown, and Medicare benefits will not be interrupted. Okay. However, the article says employees in the Social Security Administration are likely to be furloughed. Okay, and government food assistance benefits could see delay. Okay. A few services that are not directly related to Social Security payment benefits and direct service operations would be temporarily suspended. Okay, these are all of the outcomes, all of the possible outcomes concerning a government shutdown. Okay, follow along with me, y'all. Okay, please let me know your thoughts about this. Now, the question is, are state employees affected by a government shutdown? Okay, a shutdown could impact state employees whose employers depend on federal funds to operate and must shut down certain activities that the government has deemed non-necessary. Okay, in this case, certain state employees could be furloughed until a shutdown passes. Okay, think about all the different people involved in this that could very well be impacted. Okay, but the article says state employees who receive salaries from private employers who do not rely on federal funds wouldn't necessarily be impacted. Okay. Here's some updates on the government shutdown. What could we expect today? The House is scrambling, the article says. The House is scrambling, working minute by minute, hour by hour, to pass spending bills. Okay, today's schedule includes, this is what they were supposed to be doing today. Today is Thursday, September 28th. Today's schedule, it says, includes procedural votes on amendments and 4 spending bills that would fund Homeland Security, agriculture, defense, and agriculture and state foreign operations. Okay, let me repeat that again. Here's some updates on the government shutdown, what to expect today. The House is scrambling, working minute by minute, hour by hour, to pass spending bills. Today's schedule includes procedural votes on amendments and 4 spending bills that would fund Homeland Security, agriculture, defense, and agriculture and state foreign operations. You know, something I thought about, I want to share this. You know, in a way, you know, I don't know all of the ins and outs, what they're discussing in these meetings concerning the passing of these different bills. But I will say that, you know, or I will say there needs to be someone who is not just saying yes to everything, but actually reading it. Okay, y'all know sometimes with these bills, they're thousands and thousands of pages long. Who actually goes through them and reads them? Okay, I appreciate those, if there may be some or a few, I appreciate those who are actually taking time to look into the language, the wording of these bills, and making sure that the information that's being put in there is being used for the purposes intended, and that it is for the benefit of the American people. Okay. So what I'm saying is there should be some discussion and some debate over these bills, right? There should be some challenges and things like that. But my question is, how far in advance do they have to work on this? Okay. Why does it seem like it always comes down to the very last minute? And then it creates a big story, you know, hey, is the government going to shut down? Just like what I'm saying, which is a valid question. But it seems like every year it always comes down to like the very last minute where, okay, are they going to pass a bill or is the government going to shut down? Why is it like that every year? How far in advance do they actually know about these different bills? Okay. All right, y'all, let me keep going. The article says, even if all 4 spending bills pass, hold on, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Even if all 4 spending bills pass, the lower chamber still needs to work through its disagreements on each bill with the Senate, and there are less than 100 hours before the government shuts down. Okay, senators are focusing on their continuing resolution, the article says, a temporary funding measure that has garnered bipartisan support and would avert a shutdown. Okay, the upper chamber will hold a procedural vote this morning to advance their continuing resolution, which is tied to the Federal Aviation Administration reauthorization bill. Okay, now at the time of this article, I'm sharing this information. I don't know exactly if it was passed or not, so I'll maybe do some more research and update you all later on tonight. Okay. House lawmakers have yet to vote on their version of a continuing resolution, a procedural move that has strong opposition from what the article says are ultra conservatives. Okay, what is that about? In the Republican caucus. Okay, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat out of New York, said Thursday morning, this morning, the Senate will vote on their version of a stopgap measure Saturday, hours before the deadline to avert a shutdown. Okay, what closes during a government shutdown? You need to know this, right? All what the article says are non-essential, in quotation mark, federal agencies will have to stop operations in a government shutdown, including the Food and Drug Administration's food safety inspections. Okay, now we've talked about with the food supply, all the concerns. Do we really want the FDA's food safety inspections to shut down at a time when it seems like there are food recalls and different things happening, food, water getting contaminated? Do we really need the government shutting down at a time like this? Okay. Also, the Environmental Protection Agency's inspections and disaster relief by the Federal Emergency Management Agency would have to shut down. Okay. Programs like Head Start for preschoolers, okay, and the nation's food aid would also lose funding and come to a halt. Okay. Do we really want to see something like that happening? Okay. National parks could close and the Smithsonian and the Smithsonian Museums and National Zoo in Washington, D.C. said they would stay open as long as funding allows. What does government shutdown mean for Medicare? Medicare benefits will continue, though there could be a delay in some payments. The benefits are considered among essential services, along with air travel, Amtrak, Social Security payments, and more. Okay. It says the article says there are 2 days until funding levels expire, and the House has not made any significant progress in averting a government shutdown. Okay. Lawmakers in the lower chamber held procedural votes last night that advanced 4 separate spending bills, but it did not bring them any closer to averting a shutdown. Okay. Even if the lower chamber passes individual spending bills this evening, lawmakers still need to reconcile with the Senate for both chambers to pass a bill, which is becoming more and more unlikely by the hour. Okay. They're saying that there have been Republicans who have also rejected a stopgap measure introduced to the Senate that would extend current funding levels through November 17th. A stopgap measure may be the best bet for lawmakers to avert a shutdown as the clock ticks. Okay. The longest government shutdown. Okay. Has there ever been a government shutdown? Yes. Okay. The longest government shutdown, according to my sources, lasted for 35 days from late 2018 to early 2019 under the Trump administration. The article says it went into effect after the House and Senate failed to reach a compromise on a short-term funding plan to keep the government running through early next year. The critical issue was that Senate Democrats opposed President Donald Trump's $5.7 billion request for building a wall on the southern border. Y'all remember when that was a big story, right? Before that, the longest government shutdown lasted from December 5th, 1995 to January 6, 1996, when Republican House Speaker Newt Gingrich and Democrat President Bill Clinton faced off over taxes. Okay. Let's see. How long was the last government shutdown? Let's see. Okay, the last government shutdown lasted from December 22nd to 2000. I'm sorry. The last government shutdown lasted from December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019, spanning 50. I can't even read, y'all. Sorry about that. Spanning 35 days. It was the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Okay. It was also the third federal shutdown to occur during the Trump administration. The first lasted 3 days in January 2018, and the second lasted only a few hours in February 2018. Okay. They give a whole list of government shutdowns under different presidents. Now, they're also saying that former President Jimmy Carter's 99th birthday celebration was moved. Listen to this, y'all. His birthday celebration, his 99th birthday celebration was moved from Sunday, October 1st, his actual birthday, to Saturday, September 30th, amid the possibility of a government shutdown. Okay, according to the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum. Here's a quote that says, and I quote, "We want to make sure we are celebrating regardless of what Congress does." And that's according to Tony Clark, the site's public affairs director, who spoke to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Okay. All right. Linda says, "I don't think so." Okay. Hey, Linda, thank you for joining the live. Please explain. Why don't you think so? I'm not here saying that it will or it won't. I'm simply asking the question. But it seems like at the time of this video, and I got to do some more research, I don't know if both parties have come to an agreement. But my question is, why does this keep happening? It seems like every year, at least the past several years, where it comes down to the last minute, still trying to pass bills. Does Congress not know about this far enough in advance that they can start working on this before we have to get down to the last minute? Why does it seem like they're, like I said, procrastinating, waiting to the last minute to get this done? Okay. It seems like it's been happening like this for the past several years. Okay. Let's talk about essential workers. Okay. Only employees for what the article says are essential. Okay. Government services generally related to public safety are able to continue working during a shutdown. Okay. This includes air traffic controllers, national security agents, and more. These workers, the article says, will go without a paycheck for the duration of a shutdown and receive back pay for their time on the job at its conclusion. Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Please let me know your thoughts. Okay. Do you believe the government was shut down? Okay. I like to know your thoughts. So if you say yes or no, please kind of, share with me and explain your thoughts, okay? Meanwhile, the article says many employees of non-essential federal agencies such as NASA or national parks will be furloughed, okay? Here's how a government shutdown could potentially affect you. Now, I'm going to take my time with this, and I want you to ask any questions. Please put your questions or comments in the chat, and let's talk about it, y'all. Now, how can a government shutdown affect you? Okay, millions of Americans would be impacted by a government shutdown. Let's talk about it, y'all. This is something real. This is a real possibility, right? So if it's a real possibility, we need to know about the real outcomes, okay? Federal workers will be furloughed without pay. Essential, okay, what the article says are essential federal employees or federal workers, such as those who work for the Federal Aviation Administration, would work without pay. Now, y'all, who wants to do that? Who wants to work without pay in an economy where inflation is just on the rapid rise? Food prices are higher. Would you want to work without pay? Let me know in the chat, y'all. Let me know yes or no. Would you want to work without pay, or would you work without pay? Okay. Listen. Okay, so they're saying that federal workers would be furloughed without pay. Essential workers, essential federal workers, such as those who work for the Federal Aviation Administration, would work without pay, but would receive back pay once a shutdown ends. Okay, so it's like they'll still get paid, but it'll be like back pay. Okay, numerous subcontractors, the article says, would be out of work and would not receive back pay. They'll just be out of work. The impact would stretch far beyond federal workers, though. Okay, it would also be felt in millions of homes across America. Now, listen to this, y'all. Here are some ways, not all of the ways, but here are just a few ways a government shutdown would impact or could impact your family. Listen to this, y'all. Okay, funding for WIC. Okay, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children would stop immediately. Okay, right now, I'm not here to criticize anyone for their situation, but a lot of people, okay, many families depend on the WIC program. That would stop in the event of a government shutdown. Okay, food stamp benefits. Okay, food stamp benefits through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or the SNAP program, would remain intact in October, but could be impacted after that. Okay, again, y'all, many people, as food prices are increasing all across the country, there are people, and I said this I've said this before here on the channel, many people are having to turn to food banks, okay, food giveaways to get food. Okay, many people rely on their SNAP benefits. They wait, a certain time a month for their SNAP benefits to loan on their card, and then what are they doing? They're going to the grocery stores shopping. Okay, people need to still have access to food. Okay, you got to eat to live, right? You got to have food to survive is what I'm saying. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Children from low-income families, the article said, would lose access to Head Start preschool programs. Okay, for many families rely on the Head Start program as a way to give their children, as actually what it says, a Head Start, to rely on, or to get a start with their education. Okay, as well as the care for their children. So think about not only for the families that use that service, but also what about the employees in these different organizations. Okay, college students could see delay in their student loans. Okay, speaking of student loans, for many Americans, their student loan payments resume at the end of this month. Okay, the Food and Drug Administration would delay non-essential food safety inspections. We really need to have that continue. Y'all, there's so much going on with our food. Okay, it seemed like, I've said this before, it seemed like our food supply is under attack. Okay, we need our food properly inspected. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration would limit its work. Okay, travelers could see delays with receiving passports. National parks could close. and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, would have no money for disaster relief. Okay, and I think we all agree that with this unusual weather patterns, different things happening all across our country and the world. Well, I'll say our country since we're talking about FEMA. FEMA, is for U.S. assistance, but people. These are all different areas that need to continue to function. Okay. The question is asked, is there going to be a government shutdown? The U.S. government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. Sunday, October 1st, if lawmakers don't pass a continuing resolution or a federal budget by September 30th. Okay? The continuing resolution, a stopgap, the article says, measure that would temporarily fund the government while lawmakers work to pass a comprehensive budget, would prevent a shutdown from occurring on October 1st. Okay? Thank you all so much for your thumbs up. I appreciate your support and your feedback. Okay. Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the House will vote Friday, which is tomorrow, on a continuing resolution, but it's unclear if it has enough votes to pass. Okay. Let's see. You all, please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. I'm getting to the end of my broadcast here. Please let me know your questions. Okay. Now, also what happens when the government shuts down? All federal agencies and services officials don't deem all federal agencies, let me make sure the article presented it correctly. A government shutdown means all federal agencies and services officials don't deem essential have to stop their work and close their doors. Okay, some people wondering, what about the post office, right? Some of these essential services include the U.S. Postal Service delivering mail and people receiving Medicare and Social Security benefits. Those will continue whether or not the government shuts down. Okay. Thousands of federal workers will be furloughed. Government food assistance benefits could be delayed, and some food safety inspections could also be put on pause. Okay. Some people had a question. What about air travel? Air travel. Okay. How will a government shutdown affect air travel? Air travel. Okay. Now, the deepest impact, the article says, would not be on your flight or your cruise. Funding to agencies like the Federal Aviation Administration or the FAA, Transportation Security Administration, TSA, and Custom and Borders Protection would be on hold. Okay. However, the agents who you typically interact with, the airports and seaports, and the controllers who oversee your flights, are considered essential and will be working without pay during the shutdown. Okay. Again, y'all, in this type of environment, who really wants to work without pay? Y'all let me know. Okay. Food is too high. Gas is too high. The cost of living is constantly increasing, it seems like, right? Inflation is high. Who wants to work without pay? Okay. Something has to be done. Impacts on those agencies have more to do with things like hiring and training. All the crucial safety functions like inspections and air traffic control continue. Consular operations in the U.S. and internationally will also continue normally. And I quote, as long as there are sufficient fees. Okay. As long as there are sufficient fees, the article says. Hello, everyone tuning in. Thank you all so much for giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you for your support. Do you believe the government was shut down? I want to know your thoughts. Okay. Please comment and let me know. Do you feel like the government was shut down? Do you feel like at the last minute, the last hour, that they will come to some type of resolution? Okay. At the time of this article, I'm just reading an article from today. I haven't gotten any recent updates, but make sure you stay tuned to the community tab because I'll be updating you all on this topic. Okay. Now, okay, consular operations, that's what I was talking about, in the U.S. and internationally will also continue normally as long as there are sufficient fees collected to support them, according to the most recent guidance from the State Department. This includes passports, visas, and assisting U.S. citizens abroad. Okay. There could be economic repercussions, though. The article says a government shutdown is estimated to cost the country's travel economy as much as $140 million per day, according to an analysis for the U.S. Travel Association. Okay. I want to take some questions and comments. So if you have a question or if you have a comment about anything concerning the government shutdowns or the potential for a government shutdown, please make sure that you put it in the chat. Okay. And while I'm doing that, I'm just looking to see if I see any of the latest developments. You all know I'm bringing you news in real time. So I'm just going to take a minute and give you all that'll give you some time to post your comments while I look and see if there are any recent developments. Okay. Again, I want to say thank you all for your support. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you post them. Now, here's something interesting. I just happened to be on the whitehouse.gov website, and I see different, you all know I have referenced whitehouse.gov several times before here on the channel. And I see some under statements and releases, I see some articles or press releases that catch my attention. Okay, so according to the whitehouse.gov, okay, I'm just going to read the title of the headline. According to the whitehouse.gov, this information was put out on yesterday. No, actually today. It says extreme Republican shutdown would delay nearly 2,000 long-term disaster recovery projects and undermine community preparedness. Okay, hey to everyone tuning in. Thank you all so much. Please let me know your thoughts on this topic. Okay. All right, we're on talking about the potential for a government shutdown. Do you believe, will the government shut down? Okay. There was also another heading that I saw. So again, for whatever reason, the Biden administration is blaming what they term as extreme Republicans. Okay. Let's see. There was another article that came out. Okay, this was published on yesterday, September 27th. It's on the whitehouse.gov website. And I quote, extreme Republican shutdown would risk delays for travelers and force air traffic controllers and TSA officers to work without getting paid. Okay. All right, y'all. I got to run now. I need to pick up my daughter. Thank you all so much for taking time to tune in. I'll be back later on with some... I may go live again. You all let me know. Should I go live again tonight? I have a lot of stories to talk about, y'all. A lot of things have been happening. And there's so many distractions you may or may not have even known about it. Okay, let me know. Should I go live again later on tonight? Would you all tune in? Or maybe I don't want to keep you up too late. Or maybe I should just record some videos and upload on the channel. Okay, either way, y'all make sure you tune in. I appreciate each and every one of you all who were here. My daughter's getting out of her practice now, so I need to go inside and pick her up. Okay, she's with her group. They're all safe, and so I was just out here in the car recording. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much for your support. My hats go off to you. Listen, we all work hard to prepare and take care of our families. Keep doing it, y'all. Keep doing it. Know that your labor is not in vain. Stay encouraged. So much is happening, but we have so much to be thankful for. Okay, Linda says yes. Listen, y'all, stay tuned to the community tab. Make sure not only when you subscribe to the channel that you subscribe for all notifications. Okay, that way you'll be notified when I go live. Look for me somewhere around let's try for maybe 10 o'clock, y'all. That'll give me time to get home, spend time with family, take care of a few things. So look for me live tonight, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the channel. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Stay encouraged, be blessed, and always thank you so much for your support. Talk to you soon. See you tonight, y'all, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.